if you avoid 7 risk factors, lifestyle factors, you can reduce the risk of a heart attack or stroke, cardiovascular disease, 80%. You can reduce the risk of getting diabetes, 88%. Now, what are these 7 risk factors? And I said to her, I've got to talk to you about your weight. She said, I said, do you want the good news first or the bad news? She said, give me the bad news first. I said, you should know for every disease we know, overweight is going to increase your risk of dying. But the good news, if you are obese, and she was real big, if you are obese, but you exercise every day, you will live longer than the person who's normal weight who doesn't exercise.
Meet Dr. John Scharffenberg, a physician, nutritionist, and professor of nutrition at Loma Linda University. Dr. John has spent decades studying the factors contributing to a long and healthy life. In this video, we'll explore 7 key principles for longevity based on Dr. Scharffenberg's insights. From nutrition and exercise to social connections and stress management, these science-backed habits can help you live a longer, healthier life. So without further ado, let's begin with longevity factor number 7, according to Dr. Scharffenberg, exercise.
I think I would talk about exercise. Okay. I think that's extremely important. In fact, if a woman is obese, but she exercises every day, she will outlive the normal weight woman who doesn't exercise. If a man smokes and he has high blood cholesterol, has high hypertension, but he exercises, he will outlive the man who doesn't have any of those problems who doesn't exercise. Exercise is extremely important. Exercise helps to keep your weight down. Exercise helps you, or hypertension, it's the best preventive for hypertension there is. Exercise helps to keep you from diabetes. In other words, if you exercise and you keep your weight down and you're on a vegetarian diet, you won't get diabetes. So this is one of our problems, it's the lifestyle.
Engaging in regular physical activity significantly reduces the risk of developing obesity, coronary heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. A comprehensive study involving participants from 191 countries found that higher levels of physical activity are associated with a lower incidence of these conditions. Additionally, research indicates that weekend warriors, individuals who accumulate their recommended weekly exercise in 1 or 2 sessions, experience health benefits comparable to those who exercise regularly throughout the week. Both groups had reduced risks for hypertension and diabetes compared to inactive individuals. Apart from regular exercise, Dr. Scharffenberg emphasizes the importance of incorporating an adequate fasting window into your daily routine. Let's explore what he has to say. Number 6, intermittent fasting.
I eat twice a day only. That's different than most people. Now, there's something new about that. There's a dietitian down in Alabama.
Do you remember her name?
I don't remember. I could probably look it up and find out. But anyway, she started in this country the idea. Now, we as Seventh-day Adventists used to teach that that was a good thing to do because Ellen White told us, who we believed was a prophet, told us that years ago. So I brought up my children on 2 meals a day. And when did I start it? When the children got old enough to see if I was eating supper or not. When they knew that I was on 2 meals a day too. So I've been on that for years.
Yeah, and what time do you eat your 2 meals?
Well, I eat breakfast about 6:30 in the morning. I wake up about 4. I eat breakfast about 6:30. And then lunch comes 12:30, 1. So I eat with other people at that time. And then I don't eat anymore.
Intermittent fasting has been the subject of numerous studies highlighting its potential health benefits. For instance, research indicates that intermittent fasting can lead to weight loss ranging from 2.5% to 9.9%, primarily through the reduction of fat mass. Additionally, a study from the University of California, San Diego, and the Salk Institute found that participants practicing intermittent fasting experienced improved blood sugar regulation and reduced calorie intake, contributing to weight loss. Number 5, a balanced diet.
Have you heard of people talking about the carnivore diet?
Sure, meat diet.
Meat diet,
Yeah.
all meat?
And I don't think that's right either. For example, the fat and the blood of the animal, even the Bible says you shouldn't eat it. The Jews were told not to eat it, fat and blood. Now we've found out that the fat in the blood has heme iron in it. And that increases the risk of colon cancer, type 2 diabetes, and increases the risk of heart attack. So, for example, in the big nurses study they did, they checked a certain number of them to see how much iron they were storing in their sternum. They took a needle, stuck into the sternum, and checked to see. Those that had the most heme iron, which was the meat eaters, they had more iron, heme iron there than the people who didn't eat the meat. Had more diabetes. So there are doctors who prescribe meat if you're anemic. They shouldn't. It's the iron in the meat is more quickly absorbed, so it's good from that standpoint. But it's increasing colon cancer, heart attack, and diabetes, type 2.
Wow, yeah. So what do you think is the best way to change people's minds about nutrition?
I think we need to get doctors educated in nutrition. We need a good course in nutrition.
A large-scale study published in The Lancet found that a diet rich in plant-based foods and lower in meat consumption is linked to lower risks of heart disease, cancer, and early death. The research emphasizes that a balanced diet with more fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes provides essential nutrients while reducing inflammation and chronic disease risks. A nutritious diet lays the foundation for a long and healthy life. But what we avoid is just as important as what we consume. One of the biggest threats to longevity? Number 4, tobacco.
Tobacco and alcohol of our Adventist Church in Washington, D.C. area, Tacoma Park, Silver Spring area. He made a film with Dr. Oxner, chest surgeon, taking out the man's lungs because he was smoking. He had cancer of the lung. And it was called 1 in 20,000. At that time, we had about 20,000 dying every year from smoking, a lot more since that time. And this one was the one that was going to be saved because he had his lung removed.
The British doctor study, which followed thousands of physicians for 50 years, found that smoking cuts life expectancy by about 10 years. However, those who quit before middle age regained almost all of that lost time. This research shows that avoiding tobacco is one of the most powerful ways to live longer and healthier. But tobacco isn't the only harmful habit. There's another substance that many still consume, despite its well-documented risks. Number 3, stop alcohol consumption.
What about alcohol? We've known for a long time, since about 1984, when the Surgeon General came out and said, look, tobacco's not good. We've known that. But alcohol, people still using a lot of alcohol. But they've done it, the biggest study ever done with alcohol. A man at the University of Washington did it. He did it in about 191 countries, something like that. And he found out there's no safe level of alcohol. He wanted to know what level was safe because he used a little alcohol himself. He was a social drinker. Anyhow, he discovered there's no safe level. It's 0 is the only safe level. More cancer by alcohol. For example, breast cancer. For the ladies, breast cancer is a big deal. Alcohol is one of the major causes of breast cancer. But we need to live properly, getting the exercise, keeping our weight down, and you can lower your risk of heart attack and cardiovascular disease, stroke. We can lower the risk 80% with lifestyle without any medicine.
A large 2018 study analyzed data from 195 countries and found that no level of alcohol consumption is safe. The researchers concluded that even moderate drinking increases the risk of diseases like cancer and heart disease, ultimately reducing lifespan. Their findings challenge the belief that small amounts of alcohol can be beneficial. Just like alcohol, excess sugar takes a serious toll on the body, accelerating aging and increasing the risk of chronic diseases. Number 2, limit sugar intake.
We now know, just recently we learned, that sugar increases the risk of heart attack. It's interesting. So the Heart Association recommends no more than, 9 grams a day for men and 6 for women.
A 2014 study published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that people who consume more than 25% of their daily calories from added sugar had a significantly higher risk of dying from heart disease compared to those who kept their intake below 10%. Excess sugar consumption has been linked to obesity, diabetes, and metabolic disorders, all of which can shorten lifespan. Last but not least on our list are 2 habits that go hand in hand when it comes to living a longer, healthier life. Number 1, stay active and manage weight.
If you avoid 7 risk factors, lifestyle factors, you can reduce the risk of a heart attack or stroke, cardiovascular disease, 80%. You can reduce the risk of getting diabetes, 88%. Now, what are these 7 risk factors? Tobacco, alcohol, inactivity, no exercise, overweight, and then they said too much meat and sugar. They added 2 others. They were high blood pressure and high blood cholesterol, okay? If you just do the first 5, you don't have to worry about the other 2, because those first 5 help to keep your blood pressure down and your cholesterol down, okay?
Research shows that regular exercise reduces the risk of chronic diseases, strengthens the immune system, and even slows down the aging process at a cellular level. A study published in The Lancet found that just 15 minutes of moderate exercise per day can increase life expectancy by up to 3 years, proving that even small efforts make a significant impact. So there we have it. What small changes can you make today to stay more active? How do you keep yourself motivated to exercise regularly? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content like this one. And remember, you are what you eat, so nurture your health and make sure to take your daily dose of longevity seed for a vibrant life.